meeting up today to record our DOTA segment for the Esports at Microsoft stream event. And we're all just a bunch of Microsoft employees, and we're going to talk about DOTA. Introduce ourselves, tell us what your in-game handle is if you like, talk about what you do at Microsoft, and tell us a little bit about DOTA and your personal story of DOTA, and then tell us about your CEA stuff. So let's start with Duran.
Great.
You're just at the top of the list.
Stressed out.
Nominated.
All right. Hello. My name is Duran. Am I looking at the camera right now? My laptop has a weird camera. Is this the camera?
That's
Yes.
the camera.
Okay, great. Okay, hi. I'm Duran. I'm from Turkey. I was born in Istanbul and came out here for college and kind of never left. I've been Dota since 12 years ago, Dota 1, and then when Dota 2 came out, I was like, yes. Got into the beta, and I just go through phases where I'll play 3-4 months really intensely, 3-4 months, game every other day, and then I'll take some breaks before the international, which is this big Dota tournament that happens every year. I've never been to the international myself. I've been chasing it, which is why I moved to Seattle.
Hopefully it'll come back.
Yeah.
And it moved to China.
Yup.
I'm at Microsoft. I started about a year and a half ago, maybe a little longer, and I started off in Azure DevOps, and now I'm at 343 working on Halo Infinite, which is a dream come. Yeah, I love the Dota community we have at Microsoft. I think I've made some great friends. I play almost every night with people. It's just been awesome having a group of people I connect with when on my first day of work. Obviously, I have my teammates, but people were much older, or I didn't have friends, a friendship, and I think it really helped connect me to the larger Microsoft community and not just the core 8 people I work with.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks for that. Let's move on
Yeah.
to Cole. I'm just going down the Discord list.
Yeah, I'm Cole. Does this sound okay?
Yep.
I didn't
Yeah.
do sound
Great.
check. Yeah, so my name's Cole. I was the captain of Team 3 for our CEA Dota tournament. I'm a software engineer at Microsoft. I just started 4 months ago, so I graduated from college in December. And I work with the learning and talent team, developing the microservices they use to support the learning platform that everyone's probably taking courses on. And I probably have one of the shorter histories in Dota. I started by playing League in high school a lot, and then Dota came out, and I got one of the beta keys, and I played for 1 week and then quit. And then I started playing again in college, and so then I've been playing since. So I looked out for the Dota scene once I came to Microsoft.
Nice.
And Farouk is next. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
I say Farouk,
Okay.
but it's not how my dad would say it.
Are you
Turkish? That well. Am I? I'm a half Turkish. That's right. My dad is. I was born in the U.S.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I can't actually say my name the right way. Maybe Jaren would be able to.
Faruk. It's
Yeah,
Faruk.
there you go. That's how my dad says it. Anyway, so yeah, I started at Microsoft in October, and I work on the cloud hardware infrastructure engineering team. I'm actually a hardware engineer, and we work on the platforms that are going to be coming on Azure in the future, that kind of thing. And I first started with PC gaming in general, with StarCraft 2, basically, when that one came out.
Nice.
And I remember when the beta came out, and there were these tournaments on YouTube, and I was like, oh man, this esports thing is so cool. People actually play for money. I didn't know that was a thing. And, and then I started really getting into esports in general. My friends were telling me, hey, we got this beta key for this game called Dota. I was like, oh, what's
Uh-oh.
that? Yeah, let me play with you guys. And these guys had played Dota 1. So I started playing with them, and I was just really bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I can't do anything. But there's something about the game that's just so captivating that I've been playing it for, I guess it's 8 years now. I started in 2012. So,
Wow.
and I'm still bad. But yeah, Dota's great.
Hey, so my name is Raju. I came here for my master's 2 years ago, and I just graduated last year. And I've been with Microsoft for 8 months. I also started playing Dota in 2012, like Farouk, and I had about 8 to 10 friends in my class who also played Dota. So we always had a team of 5 playing. It was pretty fun, and I used to spam Lone Druid. I had like 130 games, I think, continuous on Lone Druid, and the only reason I took that was I just used to go to jungle minute 0, let the bear die, and get a new bear out, let that die, and I had a radiance in like 15-20 minutes. So for the games I was getting, I was just winning doing this. So after about 100 games, I started trying out new heroes, and I never actually played seriously until like the CEA stuff started, or maybe a month or two before that. But it's like trying to improve in Dota is pretty challenging, I would say.
Yeah.
Like if
Agreed.
you're just playing for fun, you never realize the mistakes you make, and it doesn't really matter, I guess. But if you're actually trying to improve, like every small detail is, the more
Mhm.
focused you are, the more you understand about yourself, I guess.
What do you do at
Yeah.
Microsoft?
Sure.
Oh yeah, I work for the build acceleration team. So we help Windows and Office teams build their branches.
Cool. Cool. I think I'm next.
Nice.
I'm Stanley. I go by THC in the game. What do I do at Microsoft? I work on the new Edge browser. I work on a specific part of it called PWAs. It's basically like a way for you to install web pages as like apps, and then they kind of have special things you can do with them that you can't usually do with the browser alone. I've probably played Dota since TI 2-ish, something like that. I played like a little bit of Dota 1, but like I never knew what I was doing. I was just like running around. I still remember trying to buy trying to figure out how to like get the wood resource to buy recipes when the wood resource was just automatically like the item would combine. And
Yeah.
I also remember like buying a whole bunch of recipes, being like, why would you buy all this expensive stuff? The recipes give you so many good things.
Just get you the good thing.
Yeah, and they were so cheap. It's like $200 for a recipe. CEA stuff. I captained Team 1 this year. We just played our grand finals yesterday. Unfortunately, we came second, but I think we played some pretty good matches, and I think
It was a fun series.
we're satisfied with the result, but always looking for the number 1. Yeah.
I'm Alex. I'm the Morris. I've been in Microsoft for a little over 6 years now. I work on the ideas team. We kind of do all the big data ETLs for experiences and devices. And specifically, I work on the quality front, and I also work on our GDPR delete agent a little bit. I've been playing Dota for Microsoft for about 5 years now. Ever since the AHGL started, I think. Been playing since then. Usually our mid player dabbled around in other roles, depending on what the team needs. I've been playing Dota for I think like 12 years now. Whenever Slark came out, like that, the patch in Dota 1 that Slark came out, that was when I started playing Dota. But then I got seduced by Han, so I switched over to Han for a couple years. Became Han trash, and then when the Dota 2 beta came out, me and a couple buddies switched back over, and been playing Dota ever since.
That's really cool. So now that we've all introduced ourselves, I think the next thing we wanted to talk about was that let's just get from the captains a bit of an overview of like the folks that are on your team. I want to talk about how we have like a wide range of skills people from every badge, some people don't even play ranked. Now we have some immortals. So yeah, I'll start with my team. 7.
We have seven folks that regularly play with us. Yep.
Yep, and I think we had 6 returning from last season and 1 new addition. I think our badge ranges from about mid-ancient and most recently some immortals. Congratulations to Morris and our other guy Yellow
you.
who got immortal recently.
Wouldn't have been able to do it without the team. So
I think Rajul, tell us about your team. Tell us about the people on it, the range of
So
folks.
we had about 10 people, and most of them were between Crusaders and Legends. I don't think we had anyone above Legend. And yeah, the skill bracket was a lot different. So just practicing together, I would say, was a bit challenging because for the higher ranked players to play with us a ranked game, that would basically mean that they were losing in most cases, which even I would feel guilty just playing with them, right? Because I don't want you losing your rank just because I'm in your party. So it was a bit hard practicing as a team. We just practice unranked many times. And that isn't as serious, I would say, as a ranked game. So, but other than that, it was pretty good.
And team 3?
Yeah, Team 3 kind of had an interesting start because when I started at Microsoft on January 13th, it was like I think a month or so before registrations were due, and I found the Dota 2 scene at Microsoft like a week before, and we managed to scrape together a team in 1 week of people who'd like just came in out of the like the woodwork. So I am pretty low rank. When I was playing CEA, I was Crusader. Now I'm Archon, so moving up.
Nice.
And I think the majority of our main 5 were Crusader or below, with the exception of one player who was Archon, David. And then our 2 subs who played the most, Farouk and Philip, were by far the highest rank. Philip is Ancient, and Farouk is High Legend now.
I just made it to Ancient.
You
this
just
season
made it to
too,
Congrats.
so.
Nice. So I think it was hard for us because the skill level between our team and the general teams in the CA tournament was a pretty big skill gap because we had a lot of players who haven't really played ranked, haven't really played very seriously before. But we also saw a lot of improvement throughout the season. Like we got a lot of good coaching from Philip and Farouk and other players, and so that like allowed a lot of us to improve a lot.
Sounds like that's a general theme among every team. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So more generally, I wanted to talk about like what you guys thought went well during the season for all your teams and like what could have been better for next time. And I think from what you were saying, Cole, that like one of the things that was difficult for you was that like, your team kind of came together at the last minute. And I think that was just like a timing thing. And hopefully like now that we've done this once and everyone's in the same channel, then next time it'll be like a bit easier and there'll be more time for us to ramp up. But just open to anybody. What stuff did you think went well during the season? What stuff do you think could have been better?
I thought it was really well organized this season. Like generally for us, I thought it was pretty easy to get together to play, and then the actual CEA was smooth this year, which was really nice. I like that.
Yeah, I agree. It's my second time around, and I don't know if it's because our team had more like just knowledge on how to submit, like what happened in the match, or how to lobby up with people that we were like playing against. I definitely felt like we didn't lose as much time trying to coordinate things, and I guess like we kind of also knew some of the teams we were going up against, and we also did a bit more research prior to like the matches. So that definitely went better. I'm in Ridgel's team, so some of the stuff that didn't go so well, I would say, is definitely like we didn't place very high. I think a large portion of that is because, like he said, like our team had high-ranked people and low-ranked people, but not so much in the middle. So practicing it was kind of difficult, and like sometimes the really high ranked people would be like, we have to do this now, and if your team isn't on the same page because you haven't like decided who should be calling the shots, or should it be the high ranked people, or should it be like a designated captain like pro teams do it, I think that definitely full of like confusion in the game. Yeah, but I made really good friends through it. So it's not like we're pros playing for like millions of dollars, although how cool would that be? But ultimately, I think the real win was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. It sounds cliche, but it's like at the same time, I play with my team outside of the CEA season all the time. So it's like,
Same.
yeah, it really is. And yeah, team coordination is such an important thing. And like for us, we've had like a very similar core group for years at this point. And even then it's still like sometimes in like the heat of the moment, it's like two people calling out separate things. And it's like, wait, what do we do? So it's like, that's a hard problem.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So the next thing on my list is the grand finals. Obviously, Morris and I played in it. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch. From my perspective, I think in the first game, this was I'll show a graphic of like the draft or something so we can see all the heroes. But I think we had some problems with the heroes we picked, and it didn't quite sort of solve the problems that needed to be solved. Did you guys get a chance to watch it?
Yes, I watched it. I watched every single match of the 3. Just the last 20 minutes of the final game I didn't get to see. But you guys were winning when I was watching the third game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know what happened in the last 20 minutes, but I was like, oh, they got it. I'll go get some groceries.
I don't know.
You never know with Dota. That's the beauty.
Right? Yeah.
I felt like we had a glimmer of hope in that last game when we
I thought we were doing well that last game. It was close. Close.
Yeah, we got the Divine.
Yeah, we got the Divine, and then we had that fight after. Yeah, that was a fun one.
That was a rough start.
At that point, I thought, we are turning back now. But after the drop, it was like,
yeah, no, it was. I mean, we had the communication was, is it time to YOLO? And we're like, yep, it's YOLO time. So it was like at the time, it was just like, if we win, great, but we're probably gonna drop this thing.
Yeah, it was a tough. I remember the start of the game. I was against the tri lane, and we had a Timbersaw in our against our safe lane. It was pretty rough to start, but I think we pulled it back a little bit, but we just couldn't quite keep up with them. But I felt like they played like extremely well. Like I was really impressed with like
they were a great team. And that's the thing. We prepared so much for our semifinals, and we knew going into it. And then, because we had spent the entire season being like, okay, if we have to go up against KDC, we'll be fine. We know what to expect. And then it's like, okay, who are these guys?
Yeah, these guys came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I don't think they've played in
actually
before.
Funny because we actually ended up playing a a round robin match against them, and then we were their first round 1 in the final bracket.
Oh yeah.
So we had a good amount of experience with them, but no good information because we lost in like 20 minutes each time.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the level at which they play feels like when I watch open quals, and I mean, they're certainly not bad. And the same as Bane and Miranda Gangs. By the way, the announcers totally didn't get that it was Bill and Melinda Gates, I think.
It's subtle.
All right.
Oh, they picked Bane.
I didn't get that.
It actually took me a little bit to get that too. So
wow,
we need the foundation at the end.
Yeah, you gotta add it.
They made us take it away. So we, Stanley, we need to reach out to Mr. Billy G and be like, hey, so can we call ourselves the Bane and Miranda Gangs Foundation?
Wait, why did you take it away? Who made you take it away?
CEA. They asked us. They were worried that we might be considered affiliated without actually being affiliated. So they asked us to just remove the foundation. I think we should try to get it back, because I think that really like nails the name and like, you know, makes it complete. Yeah.
Why would they think you're a thug?
I never made the connection at all.
Yeah,
So.
even I didn't make it.
Yeah. See, the original team name was the Bane and Marana Gangs Foundation. Is the full name.
For me, it was like, oh, Bane and Marana Gangs. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a strat. And then,
Right?
a few weeks later, it was fine. Like, wait a second, Bane and holy crap!
So I heard that CEA is actually planning on running Dota again in the next 6 months or so in the second season. I'll tell you all what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling a bit burnt out. I want a break, but I'd be interested in thinking about possibly going again, but I don't know right now. Definitely need a little bit of a breather. How do you all feel about it?
I feel we already got a break since we just got eliminated in the first match. But yeah. And I didn't speak about this a few minutes ago, but since we had 10 players and we didn't have any, so what I was trying to do was I was just trying to let everyone play. So basically every alternate week you would play a particular role. I just tried to divide people into supports and core depending on what they play generally, and then divided, like made a schedule out of it. But I think if I was to do it again, I would do it the way Team One did it, by having like 5 people that are fixed to particular roles, and maybe having a couple extras to for unforeseen events. But because then it would be easier to practice, because so whenever I ask someone to practice, someone would be ready, but if that person isn't playing on that particular weekend, then we aren't actually practicing, we are just playing, right? And so in that way, I would say even our team just practiced maybe once or twice as 5, but other than that we were playing as 3 maybe most of the times, and never actually practicing. Even because again, when it comes to ranked games, everyone is concerned about losing their rank, right? No one wants to lose their rank, so no one is willing to try out a combination of 2 heroes or something like that, you know. And that's why I was trying to get people to play the Battle Cup, because that way you don't lose the rank, but it's still a good match. But
the in-houses we did were a lot of fun and a good way to try to practice with everyone, being from Microsoft.
Yep.
So
Any
I
captain's mode games.
Yes, because you can't do captain's mode on ladder, and that's something that I realized. It's like, holy crap, I don't have any idea how to draft like reasonably at all.
It's really
I know what I'd like to play, but that's it, really.
Yeah. Drafting is a whole like completely different mess. Like, and it's really tough.
Since starting the tournament, I'm way more invested in playing or understanding how every single hero plays, because if you're in a tournament, or if you're drafting and your team needs you to play a specific hero because it gels so well with everything else, you need to be able to, you don't need to be able to do it, but you want to. Like, I feel like since joining the tournament, I've actually, I have this rekindled fire to learn more and play better. So, and part of it is like accountability to your teammates, and part of it is just like, wow, I'm spending like 8 hours a week at least doing this thing that I'm just not good at. So, so it definitely makes you want to kind of understand what's going on around you. And another, even if you have a team captain who's drafting, they will ask you, what do you want to play? What do you feel comfortable playing? And what will with this team? And you need to be able to look and say, I think this would work well against these heroes. And if you don't have an understanding of every single hero, you're like, well, I don't know. I play Lion. That was me the first time around. The second time around, I felt a lot more like invested.
Yeah, that's an interesting point with regarding drafting, and I'm actually really curious. How do your teams do drafting? Because I know from our experience, and Stanley's our captain, so he does the drafting. But it's very collaborative for us.
Yeah.
I'm curious how it is for you.
Well, often it's been like, wait, who's playing carry? We're like, So it's definitely been not as organized as we'd like it to be. I mean, Rajul can speak more, but often we'll go into a match, like he said, we had 10 people, so there's no way you know all of those 10 people and all of the heroes that are capable of playing. Often I don't even have a face to the name, to the team ID. So I found it difficult during drafting because it's not like with Stanley, like he drafts the heroes and he knows everyone's strengths because he's been playing with these people for 3 years. Yeah, we've definitely been a lot less coordinated. And I think having a smaller team with core individuals that play the same role every time would certainly help. Obviously, you can have, change ups in the middle, like if you normally play 3, someone can really play an underlord and, they're, yeah, you can, if you know that they're capable of this, you can make those decisions, but
yeah,
difficult when you have 10 new people in your team.
I was going to say one thing I think we actually did really well for Team 3 was we had very little, like, saltiness and
yes,
like flaming. Because I think we were very upfront about, like, trying to not, pin mistakes on the person, but use it as a growth opportunity. And it's actually something I learned when I was playing a lot of Super Smash Bros. Melee in college. I used to be a salty player, and I would lose, and I would be like, I'm so much better than that person. They got lucky. And I was, like, performing horribly compared to how I did when I was playing with my friends. And then I, like, stopped for, like, 6 months and came back, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to watch my replays, look at what I did wrong. And then when you start doing that and you just, like, analyze yourself instead of blaming it on other things, it's so much easier to get better and have more fun playing the game.
Yeah. Actually, what I was going to say is so similar to what you said. So I calibrated way lower than I did this season, and it, like, crushed my spirit, I was like, did I just get bad over time? Like, that obviously is frustrating. And what I realized, I used to have, like, fights about my saltiness with my husband because he'd be like, you're flaming everyone we're playing with. They're going to play bad if you flame them. Like, it doesn't inspire people to be better if you're telling them that they are inherently bad, not what they did is bad. And I would be like, stop telling me what to do. And, and then what really changed for me, and I gained like 600, 700 MMR over the course of, like, the last 2 months or something. 3 months maybe? I don't know. Like, however long. But I found one other person I play very well with, and we started spamming rent games, and we started leading them. So every time I join it, I never audio talk in games because I'm a girl, and, like, I feel like if this, I get a lot of, it's always split. I get a lot of
mute all.
Yeah, like, I either get a lot of hate or I get, like, people get distracted. So I don't audio talk. But whenever I'm queuing with my friend who I play with every night, 2 or 3 matches, we always direct people. So because it's a pub, it's like people don't know each other. So when 2 people are yelling at you to do the same thing, people listen. One person telling you, they're like, whatever, like, I'm going to do what I want. So I found it to be really effective to be like, if everyone's scattered, you're like, let's roach right now. And if 2 people are saying it, they'll go do it. And it's really helped in pubs to have that kind of coordination where the opposite team may not have someone calling shots. They lose because of it. We've got around some losing games just by telling people, don't worry, we'll win. Like, you're doing great. Like, just keep your spirits up. Like, we're going to just farm, Just being positive, encouraging, and obviously giving feedback when people are bad, but not in a way where you're like, you suck. Like, I've seen all of this help immensely, and I've really turned around how I think about getting your frustrations of the day out when playing. Because it makes you lose.
It does.
Yeah.
I think the new like esports thing they have kind of helps because there's a channel
Yeah.
for every game, and the fact
Yeah.
that we link to the main Dota teams from there is like now it's easier to find. I
Definitely.
think anyway.
Yeah.
I think for me, the way I found all this was actually joining the aliases. Like I found these aliases, I joined them, I got emails, then I found the teams, and it's like the same.
There you go. Yeah.
Rat hole.
Okay, folks, I think we'll look to wrap it up here. Thanks everyone for
Alrighty.
coming.
Thanks for organizing.
Appreciate all your time. But thanks everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, family.
Thanks.
Nice chatting with everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Great to put faces to names.
Yeah. Have a good one.